of it's like a bit dangerous. Oh, I have a toilet story. I was going to use this for another question, but no. Okay. Hello, I'm Chloe. I'm an office runner, and today Silverback Films are asking me anything. So question number 1, what do you do in your job? It's hard to answer. Every day as a runner is different. Pretty much just going on side quests, anything to make sure that the people of the company are happy, healthy, watered, Jammy Dodgered. Jammy Dodgers are very classic. When the Jammy Dodgers ran out, it was not good. We also get to do some side gigs like logging, looking at archive, doing bits of research, and just playing around with the cameras, which is amazing. Cool. What made you want to work? Oh, I didn't do the thing. Hang on. You ready? Ha. Okay. What made you want to work in natural history? I don't know. I was a kid. I grew up in big cities. Was never really that in touch with nature until I was 8, and we had to do a school project on like heroines and women who were slain. And I ended up doing Jane Goodall, just kind of completely randomly, and just became obsessed with her. I was like, I'm going to be the next Jane Goodall. And so, yeah, I kind of did that, and I followed that path to become a scientific researcher, which was amazing. But also really loved film and loved storytelling. And so now I've combined those two loves, and here we are doing wildlife filmmaking. Cool. Number 4, what's the weirdest place your job has taken you? Peeing in the wild. This should be a whole lecture they give you when you do biology. So I was in the field in Uganda taking a wild wee in the middle of the night. So I sort of did the thing with the flashlight, made sure there were no hippos or obvious lions trying to eat me. Thought the coast was clear. Attempt to wild wee. I'd made a big mistake by not checking the floor, and I'd chosen my spot right in the middle of this huge column of marching ants who were making their nest, and obviously very pissed off that I decided to utilise their marching route. And then I was wearing Crocs, and so all the ants went in the Crocs mid-wee. It's not great. Woke up the whole camp. But we live to tell the tale. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. What animal are you most like? I would like to say a lion because I love lions, but I think that's probably not correct because they are cool. An animal I do really relate to is an ascidian, which is like a little sea squirt sack of jelly that sort of bops around. And when they're juveniles, they have a nervous system, which is really awesome for them, so they get to swim around. But then they find little rocks that they attach themselves to. And when they become adults, they completely lose their nervous system and they're just like sessile couch surfers. And I think that's a pretty good life trajectory. So maybe an ascidian. What's your most magical wildlife moment? So elephants came into camp and they were raiding our laundry lines, which is really annoying because the laundry is all hand done. It takes quite a lot of time, obviously, because you know, you're in the river, put it on the thing, amazing, job done. Elephants turn up, start eating all the jeans and stuff. But I was, you know, as a wildlife filmmaker, I was like, let's film this magical moment. And so kind of went out with my camera and just decided to hide in a bush because me being really smart, and this is before I knew about health and safety, now that I'm at Silverback, but decided to hide in a bush and these elephants came right up to me, and there was kind of a moment where you look at them and they look at you and they're like, yeah, we're cool, we're not going to stampede this person. So that's pretty memorable. Ooh, my superpower. I have a great ability, which is how to carry as many camera bags as physically possible. You can stack them on the head, they can come off all the limbs. Yeah, we've had to do some kind of, what's the word? More like walking shots. So we were filming some white rhinos in a reserve, and we were walking around with them. And so at that point, you don't have a van driving around with your camera stuff. This is probably something that I did not know about this job before I embarked upon it, but you are carrying around the massive tripods and the massive cameras. And so being able to carry lots of stuff and potentially move quite quickly when a rhino is looking at you is a good skill to have. So that's superpower. Also sleeping anywhere. That's very helpful. Okay, so yeah. What's your dream species to film? Ooh, there's so many. Probably a manta ray, just because I've been thinking about that lately. They just do this amazing thing where they can read the tides and they know when it's high tide and when a feeding frenzy is going to happen. And I think being in the water with kind of a mystical creature like a manta ray would be amazing. And I've never filmed in the water, so that would definitely be a bucket list item. Okay, what makes a wildlife story unforgettable? For me, I think I just get really invested in a character, and so if you have more of a long form story, when you're returning to the same character and you're really digging for them, or no, you're really rooting for them, that's just what makes a story unforgettable for me. And yeah, what people do very well at Silverback, so I'm very happy to be here. What advice would you give to someone starting out? Probably just every side gig is useful. I had so many side gigs before coming to this job. I was a tutor, I worked in hospitality, I was a PA, I was even an extra and like background acting in some films just to get around cameras. And all that experience is actually so useful when you come to being a runner. And so I guess if you're not directly in the industry that you want to be in yet, don't be disheartened, because it's all going to be so helpful. And yeah, you don't have to have lots of camera experience. You just have to have an instinct for storytelling and love of animals. The end.